In today's video, I wanted to share with you a little bit of a confession because, as you guys know, I'm all about being authentic, and if I'm not being real, then, what the hell is the point of all of this? And also, I'm going to share with you a little bit of a story of how I got scammed by a lawyer. And so if you're interested, then please keep on watching. And so on my Instagram account, I remember saying once or twice that I was divorced, and then I realized, wait, why am I saying I'm divorced? I'm actually just separated. But I think I said it so many times that I almost felt like, oh my God, I can't go back on now saying that I'm separated, so I kind of just went along with it, to be honest. Because in my head, I was thinking, well, the divorce is going to happen within a month anyway. So I was like, why keep saying separated, divorce? Like, it's just so confusing. So might as well, just stick to divorce. And so later down the line, I kept realizing that my lawyer, and again, I'm going to explain to you why this has happened, but it's kind of like a sad story. But anyways, my lawyer kept on pushing the date, and our divorce was a very easy, like there was no properties, it was very easy, very simple, civil. And so he kept on telling me that the judge has finalized your divorce, and then on CRA, it randomly changed to divorced. And so I was thinking, okay, I am divorced, like it's happening, but I never got the papers in my hand. I never saw proof. So I kept thinking, okay, well, it's coming. And he kept, he was a really good liar. He kept on pushing it. It was a year. He told me that divorce would be completed within a year. It kept on going on and on and on. And it was like, and I've never dealt with a lawyer before. I don't know how they work. I know that they don't respond immediately, but like he would respond to me after a month. And I was telling him when I first decided to get a divorce that I literally had to sell my grandmother's gold in order to pay him the amount of money, and it was about $2,000 or something. And at that time, I didn't have any money for the divorce, and my ex did not want to get the divorce, so it was kind of on me to do all of these things, which was very, very challenging, but it is what it is. That was the experience, right? And so he kept saying to me, you only need to pay me $2,000 because you're going through a very difficult time right now. Again, this is on me because I don't think there's any lawyer out there that's going to do that, right? And so that was I guess I was just in I don't know if somebody's ever been through a divorce, you'll know that you're in like this warp of just chaos, stress, anxiety, grief. Like you're not all there. And I am somebody who is a bit naive. I am somebody who will fall for it, unfortunately, because I am a people pleaser. And so, I was like, okay, maybe God is helping me. God is, protecting me, whatever. So that was my mindset. And I never had an ounce of a doubt that he could be a scammer. Not one little intuition, nothing. Like, I just did not think that. I did not want to believe it because I was like, there's no way, like he's trying to help me. And it's funny because my ex kept telling me, well, he doesn't have, like he's not doing this properly. The divorce had some, like the documents had some mistakes in it, some errors. And again, I did not want to believe him because I was like, oh, you're just being, you're just trying to make this difficult. So I did not listen to him, and I kept on going. And this is one of my red flags or my flaws, where I'm just so stubborn and I'm so like focused on what the mission is that I don't stop to look over things and be like, okay, wait, is this really factual? Let's dig a little bit deeper. I never do that. I mean, I'm learning to do that, but that was something that, and again, I'm not going to blame the divorce, but that mindset being looking after your child by yourself. Luckily, I do have her father in the picture, so it's half and half, which is phenomenal. And I know a lot of parents are not as privileged, so I am very lucky. So I don't want to say I'm a single mom. I'm a divorced mom. I had to learn this. I had to Google this and learn it myself. But I just can't believe that a man could do that to a mother, like somebody who's really struggling. And it just shows that some people just don't have, they just don't have hearts. And They're not aware, they're not conscious. This year I finally was like, something is weird. He's told me this has been going to be finished in 1 year. It's taken way longer than that. And so I literally was like, if I don't get this within XYZ date, like I have to file a report, because this is coming into, you know, you haven't given me any sort of proof. And he was like, no, please don't make a report. I promise, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna come and drop it off. I'm gonna do that. Like, it was constant lies. And then again, it wouldn't get followed through. And then he started saying, my dad's eyes are really bad and I really gotta fix my dad's eyes. I was like, what? Like, it was just so confusing. I was, you know, getting gaslit, and I was just like, this has to be the worst. You know, and I was kind of upset about it. I mean, it is upsetting that I literally sold my grandmother's gold to give a scammer money, you know, and that really just, ooh, that really made me mad. But I had to be like, okay, listen, it's just gold. You can buy some more later. It's okay. It won't be the same, but it is what it is, right? It's you do these things in life, you live and you learn. And also during that time when I was deciding to get the divorce, my ex didn't really want to get it. So it was kind of like I was fighting. I didn't have the money for it, and then I had to fight him to get him to do the, you know, sign the documents. I was like, it was just very difficult. And so right now we are on amazing speaking terms, and we are able to speak, we're able to co-parent, and I'm just super uber duper lucky that it is this way. And honestly, I had to work really hard for it to be like this, because I remember, you know, when you see your parents arguing or fighting or screaming or whatever it is, when the child sees her mother saying horrible things to the father, or the father saying horrible things to the mother, the child never thinks it's about both of them. The child, because a part of the child is the father. So if I'm going to be disrespectful to him, or I'm going to be shouting at him, or whatever it is, the child doesn't say, oh, my father is at wrong, or this is what's happening. The child immediately looks at themselves and they feel like, oh my God, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of a happy family. So they internalize it. And so I knew this. And so I wanted to make sure that during this divorce, my first priority is my daughter. I want to make sure that she is at peace, because that's literally the reason I'm getting the divorce, is that we all can be at peace. We all can be happy. We all can love each other a little bit from the far, but we can still be a family. Because I grew up seeing my parents fighting and screaming and shouting and cursing. And so I learned that that is just not the way to be. Like, I'm not doing this to my child. That work needed to start with me, right? And that work really was a sort of my meditation, journaling, working on myself when nobody's watching. I barely drink. I stopped smoking weed to numb my pain. You know, I'm not perfect. I have times where I slip back into, you know, I'm like, I just want to watch TV and I just want to numb myself for a little bit, and then I do that. But I think that I'm aware that I'm doing it. A lot of people are not even aware they're doing it, and they do it every single day. They do it really often, and they're not still connecting to themselves. So it's really important that when you are getting a divorce, to make sure that your first priority are your children, not your who's right, who's wrong, who's getting more, who's getting less. Like, to me, that is like not important. And I just wish more parents understood that, because I speak to so many, you know, people, and they're going through divorces, or they've been divorced, and how horrible it is for children when they have nothing to do with it. And it sucks. So yeah, I really wanted to make this video to share that I'm still separated. And the reason I wanted to share this is because I had to admit to my fault that I found this little lawyer who's a scammer. And it's funny because right after I put in the report to the lawyer association, I forgot what it's called now, but it's you complain to the association, you don't complain to the police, because they're probably not going to do anything about it. And the investigation is currently going on. And it was funny because I went back to his Google reviews, because I was like, how the hell did I choose this guy? What the hell was wrong with me? Anyways. And I saw another woman that had the same issue as me. So I was like, okay, there's more than one. which is better. It makes her case stronger. And back to co-parenting. If I really wanted to make it difficult, and like I had this anger and rage, and like I'm gonna show him off, and I'm gonna, do the whole, because a lot of women, they take their kids, I think it's like 60 to 40, or even more, 70, or the father will only see the kid on the weekends. And, the woman will get extra money, right? Which is great for some women. But I just knew, like, I wouldn't want to do that to my child. Like, I want my child to be with her father and me evenly. And I knew that if I ever try to take away, do all of this drama, like it's just going to come back to haunt my child at the end of it. So I'm really glad that I just had this inner knowing, like I shouldn't be, because people can hurt you during a divorce, right? You really see somebody's true colors when you get a divorce from them. And I saw a lot of true colors. And I think just forgiving yourself, forgiving them is like the key to moving on and understanding what is my priority, my child, our happiness, our peace, and just focusing on that and not kind of doing this tit for tat thing. And so this video is for anybody out there who's going through a divorce, you're deciding to get a divorce, whatever it is, separation, that you really do your due diligence when you are researching for your lawyer. And it was difficult, right? Because people can spend 10, 20, 30K or even more on lawyer's fees. And I didn't have that, right? I had some savings, but that was more for other things, not the lawyers. And that was kind of the trap that I fell into, and somehow I found him and these things happened. But, I'm here to tell you that please do your research. And also another thing that I would also mention is to meet people in person. I have this very bad habit where I like to do everything on my phone or through Zoom or whatever it is. And I feel like everybody should meet. And whenever it's something this serious and it's like a big process, you have to meet people in person, and that's something I didn't do with this guy. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is all I wanted to share with you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video.